Arkansas head coach and current offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino named interim head coach. College Game Day announcing they will be in Tuscaloosa Saturday ahead of the Tide's game with Vanderbilt. After opening as a 13-point favorite early, the Crimson Tide now a 10.5-point favorite at home against the Commodores. Sunday night NFL action, Dallas and Green Bay both kicked field goals in overtime as the two play to a 40-40 tie. The tie, the first for the Cowboys since the 1969 season. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes a catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide take on Vanderbilt at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to another edition, another week of the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester and WZZN TV. And I have to admit, that this weekend of football felt like it never ended. And of course, we had the golf that honestly the USA had a shot at winning. We had the NASCAR.
Golf this weekend?
It was golf. It was the Ryder Cup, Joe. Do you know about that thing?
No, did not care.
Not something I typically care about, but it's still America versus a different country. Something that, a lot of people hold dear to their hearts. So, of course, I'm not going to judge you if that's what you chose to dive into. But with the NFL slate having a game in the morning all the way up until 2 games tonight that you will be able to hear on our airways, and on top of that, all of the college football madness that was Saturday, Friday night, where we saw Squirrel White get absolutely trampled by a bunch of Virginia fans. I mean, it felt like it never stopped. And putting a cherry on the top and having a wonderful game last night between the Cowboys and the Packers is just one of those things that you're not going to forget. I mean, this is going to be a week that we're talking about 4 or 5 weeks into this thing. But regardless of that, I will say this. Joe, I don't think that the NFL should be allowed to end it on an overtime tie. I don't care what the implications are of this 40-40 game. It was the second largest tie in NFL history. But come on. I get it. You don't want the players to be out there too long. You don't want the fans
really not about that.
to be out there too long. You don't have
really
any more
ad
ad spots to be out there. But at the same time, put them up at the 25-yard line, let them shoot it out until it's over. But at that point, I do not want to see that game come to a tie.
No, the game should never come to a tie. I think ties are absolutely idiotic, and especially in football. Like if all you had to do was just say, regardless of the time that is remaining, because the Packers were able to run this thing all the way down to the zeros, the next score wins.
Yeah.
Like that should be what it is. You should throw like the little infinity sign up for the time. And it literally is next score wins.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a safety. I don't care if it is a field goal. I don't care whatever it is. Next score wins. That's what you should do. The NFL doesn't care about this again because it's all about the money. ESPN and NBC and CBS and Fox, they should love this because in reality, this would allow them to play more commercials, which would mean that they would get to be able to charge these clients more money for the overtime commercials, unless they have already said that those are free. But all this is about, and the whole reason they do this is simply just because of the fact that by this time, when they get into overtime, the stadium has stopped selling everything.
Yeah, that's true.
They literally, everything is closed. Outside of the team store, everything is closed. So there's no reason for them to I don't care, we win this thing in a tie. I've already made all the money I'm going to make tonight. That's it. That's the whole reason why they do this. So yeah, they don't care if it ends in a tie. It's absolutely idiotic though.
Two spectacular performances by two quarterbacks, one a lot younger than the other one, but Dak Prescott he was 31 of 40 for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love, on the other hand, 31 of 43, again, very high statistical, high scoring game. 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had a pair of touchdowns himself. Javonte Williams looking really good in Dallas. George Pickens taking advantage of the time that he gets as number one wide receiver. And on top of that, Romeo Doubs with 3 touchdowns is career high for him. And if you had him in fantasy, which I don't know if a lot of people do, you're probably pretty happy about the outcome. But the
human bobblehead.
Yeah, no. Well, he's not the only one on that team. The Packers are now 2-1-1, and the Dallas Cowboys are now 1-2-1. It's the first tie of the 2025 season, and let's just say we might see more of that as we get throughout it. But the real storylines come from Athens as Alabama is able to take down the Bulldogs in what seemed like a very, I would say, non-stressful game for Crimson Tide fans, Joe. I mean, I was sitting there, and I used to be the type of kid that was always nervous. I was always worried about an Alabama team that, never loses, but when they do lose, it was the worst thing that could ever happen. I was going into this game just sitting down. I was relaxed. I was calm. I trusted in Ty Simpson and his abilities to get the ball to the wide receivers. But then Ryan Williams dropped that pass while he was going to the end zone. I was like, okay, that's not typical Alabama right there. But regardless, him getting open in the first place shows you that he is back on track to get to that position as one of the better wide receivers in all the country. But if you're dropping that, you are not going to have that name next to you, because the best players, the most elite players, like the announcers were saying, elite players, you got to get back to that elite level. Do not drop that football.
No.
And it happened for Georgia as well, so I feel for them, and it was a lot more of a terrible time for that to happen. But for Ryan Williams to drop that, he wants it back, but you cannot say that he is an elite wide receiver with the amount of drops that he's had. But I am impressed with Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, who, speaking of Romeo Doubs, very similar players. You get the ball in their hands. They are playmakers. I love what I'm seeing from these guys. And on top of that, this Georgia team, a little feisty, but it didn't look
feisty. I mean, they're just a top 10 team in the country. A little feisty.
Didn't look like they had the same energy as last week when they faced off against Tennessee.
No, and I think that a lot of that is a mental thing. This is a total mental block for Georgia. It absolutely is. Now, it doesn't matter that with the way that they played, I will say that Ty Simpson looked like a different quarterback against Georgia than what he did 3 weeks prior to that. I love the story that Holly Rowe did when she was talking about how he had went into and did a lot of mental health stuff as far as trying to make sure to keep his mind calm and to keep his body calm. Like, that stuff was absolutely tremendous to listen to, because I would love to know more about that kind of stuff, because that happens. And I think that was something that I went, you know what? That is, you can see a difference. I mean, I remember when we were watching Alabama play Florida State, I remember that shot of him looking to the sidelines and his eyes were huge. And it was like that, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
And then flash forward, I should say, to Saturday. And my wife was sitting beside me and she goes, look at him. Look at how calm he looks. And I went, that is very different from what it was a month ago. I mean, it's night and day difference. And so that was a massive part in the way and the reason why Alabama was so successful.
Yeah, and it looked like that just helped out with the entire game, because at Florida State, what he was able to do is that first drive looked really good, very reminiscent of what we saw in Athens. That first drive, very long, time-consuming, and very successful, and it worked all sides that I like to see. It worked the run game, worked the passing game. This time, run game a lot more, which I really liked. But getting to see that consistently throughout the football game is what excites me. He has got he's got a laser for an arm, all right? And he puts it on a string, and it goes straight to the wide receivers. But kudos to those wide receivers for getting open in that secondary for Georgia, because it looked like they were playing very soft.
Well, couple of things. One, those first 2 drives for Alabama combined for like over, I want to say like 13 and a half minutes of football. Like it was those 2 drives took forever. The part about the wide receivers getting open, I cannot stress how important Jam Miller was to them being open, because this offense, this run game, everything looks so different compared to what it has looked over the past 3 weeks, because he is in the backfield.
No.
It is absolutely different. It's like you now have to worry about the run game, where for the first 3 and 4 weeks, you did not have to worry about the run game at all.
And the weird thing is, I mean, if you look at the stat sheet alone, you're not going to get the full picture, because Jam Miller, he only had 46 yards rushing. Kevin Riley also had a nice night, but again, 30 yards off of 10 carries. Jam had 16. But it seemed like instead of going backwards on a majority of the runs or just getting stopped up at the line, they were at least pushing forward and maybe getting 2-3 yards. And even that is enough to open up a pass game. And on top of that, you got to remember, Jam Miller has that type of ability to break one free and go the distance. It's just going to take a little bit more time. But for his first game out there, I loved what I saw from him running. I liked more what I saw from him pass blocking and just bringing away that defense and making them concerned about him. And on top of that, we got to see guys like Jeremy Bernard in the backfield. He had 5 carries. Ty Simpson was running well. Not the most athletic. He didn't really need to be running all over the place. And then Joe, possibly the coolest play we've seen all season long. But the big man, Caden Proctor, getting the football and absolutely tanking over not just the Georgia players, but also his players as well. He didn't care what he saw in front of him.
I don't even, if that man doesn't step out of bounds, there was nobody stopping him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he dove too.
It genuinely he was juggernaut. The moment his momentum got going, there was not a soul stopping him except for him.
That would have been terrifying.
I looked up and I saw him back behind the wide receivers, and I went, no. And they passed it to him. In the moment he caught it beautifully, by the way.
Yeah.
When he started going, I thought there's not a soul that can stop him. There's not one person on that field that's going to stop him. I don't know if the hedges behind the end zone are going to stop him.
Definitely not.
I did not. There was nothing in his path that was going to slow him up except for him diving. That was it.
I absolutely loved it. Honestly, it was one of those moments you just hear some Titanic-esque music going on, slow motion. This big dude's running the ball with confidence too. It's like Derrick Henry, but if you added another Derrick Henry to him. But lots of stories to continue talking about with that Alabama win again against Georgia this past weekend. But we got a lot more college football to cover. But I do want to stick with the Crimson Tide as we head into a break. Next segment, Joe, we will be talking with Mike Rodak from Bama 247. But before we do any of that, we got a phone call.
I want to know where you were going before any of that. What?
Roofing.
Oh, roofing. That's an extremely important thing. And as Fleming Roofing and Restoration is what you're going to need. Whether it's hot days, cold days, it is going to be raining, no matter what's happening hail-wise. Obviously, if you are unfortunately near a tornado or anything along those lines, you have your shingles get knocked out of off your house. You need a roof estimate quickly. Always go online, check with those guys. They'll be able to get you a free estimate. And I promise you, doesn't matter. They're going to be the ones that show up. So if you are in one of those situations, we are kind of in a weird period where we're getting a lot of rain, getting a lot of wind. The weather's changing. You want to make sure that your roof is good to go, especially for the winter months when it could get a lot colder.
FlemingHSV.com, the place to find the guys that you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs.
I like the way you pointed to the ceiling. I was like, what, tiles? Tiles? We talking tiles next?
I mean, I have been playing a lot of tiles games on my phone.
Tiles?
Yeah. Mike Rodak on the other side.
Curious. I was like, so what's he doing now? Who's the phone call?
And we will be getting into your phone calls as we get through this show as well. Second hour is going to be wide open for you. 256-576-97.7. This is the Blitz on 97.7. ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
You freeze fire yet?
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Bill Crawford with Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. I've recently had a stem cell procedure on my right knee from Dr. Charles Lee of Regenesis. Stem cells are harvested from your body and re-administered back into your body. This approach is painless, quick, and requires no lengthy rehab. My knee feels better already. Regenesis is located at 4601 Whitesburg Drive in Huntsville, Alabama. Call 256-715-8193 or Google their website for more information.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
This is Bill Crawford with Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. I've recently had a stem cell procedure on my right knee from Dr. Charles Lee of Regenesis. Stem cells are harvested from your body and re-administered back into your body. This approach is painless, quick, and requires no lengthy rehab. My knee feels better already. Regenesis is located at 4601 Whitesburg Drive in Huntsville, Alabama. Call 256-715-8193 or Google their website for more information.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. Expect to see mostly sunshine for this Monday all across the Tennessee Valley. High temperatures warming into the upper 80s for the afternoon. A little bit of rainfall could pass through, but most areas will stay dry for your Monday. Heading into Monday night, low temperatures fall into the low 60s and will sit under a clear sky.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This is your home for Sparkman football.
Handoff to Lawson up the middle. He's crossing the 30. He's crossing the 20. And in 3 steps, he will cross the goal line, as that is a touchdown for your Senators.
The Senator Zone, only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk here with you guys. 2 hours straight of sports talk and a lot of focusing on what happened in Stanford Stadium this past weekend between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs that you could have listened to on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Before we get to Mike, I just have a quick question for you because I'm a Titans fan and an Auburn fan.
I'm so sorry.
When the team crosses over into that area where there's like letters and stuff,
it's 6 points. I don't know if you forgot about that.
No, I just haven't seen one of those, a real one of those in a while. I don't know what that looks like, so it's hard for me. I have to turn on the red zone just to see a touchdown. So, yeah, it's one of those things.
The Titans got falconed this past weekend, which we'll get into that as we get through the week. I don't think a lot of people really want to focus too much on it right now, but I know Mike Rodak knows a thing or two about touchdowns because he got to see quite a few of them. Almost got to see one in the form of a big man touchdown this past weekend, but he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And Mike, this game, man, it kind of was one of those things. It just felt comfortable. I don't know if you had the same thing, but it felt comfortable. It was kind of stress-free. And Alabama, the time of possession was like 11 minutes more than Georgia. Talk about this game and how you felt as we were getting on through it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far as comfortable, but it helped that they scored first. Well, not even that. It helped that they stopped Georgia on the first drive, and then they scored, and then I think they stopped Georgia again. I think at that point, you're feeling good. I think you could see that Alabama was able to move the ball through the air, which going into this game, I think I said that's going to be the formula for Alabama to win. Like they're going to have to win with their receivers, with their passing game. That's where I think they had the biggest advantage over Georgia. But then as the game kind of wore on, you knew that Kirby was going to at some point have the right adjustment to slow that down. And he did. I mean, he's very good at halftime adjustments. Alabama did not score a single point in the second half. The passing game was not as effective in the second half. So you knew that was going to happen. And then it was just a matter of could Georgia put enough together offensively to win the game. And I mean, they almost did. That was a stressful little sequence, I'm sure, for a lot of fans, going down to that fourth down play in the red zone. And obviously that game kind of flipped where you get the stop on fourth down. I think Kirby should have kicked a field goal there and just tied the game and changed the script of the game a little bit. And then Alabama goes down and pins them with a punt. And then Georgia comes back down and can't really do anything. So that was kind of where the game flipped. But that game could have easily gone in Georgia's favor if they had converted that fourth down. And, comfortable is a strong word. I would say it certainly felt less, less dangerous as you would have thought as a game.
Yeah, definitely lower scoring than last year. And for me, I don't know why it felt so comfortable. It just seemed like everything was flowing for the Crimson Tide. But it was something where I just looked at it and I thought to myself, this has happened before. I mean, Georgia has had the ball going into the end zone in, the last few moments of the game. I mean, and then they come up short. I mean, talk about it from your point of view, comparably to some of the other games that we've seen, where this one might fall within the great Alabama-Georgia matchups.
It's not near the top of the list to me. I think it's among the more pedestrian, if you will, Georgia-Alabama games. There's obviously been some exciting finishes and, the national championship game, 2017. Last year's game was obviously dramatic. The national championship game a couple of years ago was pretty dramatic. This one wasn't up there. I think it probably is closer to the SEC championship game 2 years ago, the Jalen Milroe one. And that was a different script because, remember, Georgia went down the field and scored right away. And everybody thought, all right, Georgia's going to just handle Alabama. That never happened. This was kind of flipped, but I wouldn't call it like an instant classic or anything. I think it was a good game. I don't know if it's a game that 10 years ago, you think back to this one, like how many plays will you remember? Maybe the Caden Proctor catch, maybe the fourth down stuff.
You got to remember that one.
Maybe Ryan Williams' drop, but it's not the most memorable one I've covered, certainly.
Well, I mean, you talked about the passing game and the formula that, had to be there, but also, we bring up Jam Miller earlier on in the show, and of course his stats aren't going to be crazy, but talk about just how big it was to have him back on the field and how much that actually helped out that passing game.
Yeah, I think as a pass protector, he certainly helps, but I don't know if that was the fear for Alabama going to the game. Like Georgia's pass rush was not great. going into this game. And I think as the game progressed, Alabama even realized that they didn't have to worry too much about it because they went into empty backfield a decent amount and just kind of trusted their offensive line and trusted Ty to get rid of the ball. And there wasn't too many plays where Ty was really under duress. And, so I think it helps Jam having him as a pass protector. In the running game, he wasn't overly effective. I think he was right around 3 yards a carry. His best runs were probably on the last drive of the game. I think he had a 6-yarder and a 7-yarder that helped seal the win. And then obviously the catch on third down, that was probably the biggest play that he made. So it helps. They didn't play Daniel Hill or Richard Young at all, and those guys have not really been too effective this year. Jam's better than them, but you can still make an argument that Kevin Riley's showing a little bit more pop for him. But the overall theme for the running game is Alabama did not run the ball very well in this game, and they need more explosiveness. They need more consistency from that part of their offense because I think it's just tough to win over the course of an entire SEC schedule having the running game that they do right now. And I don't know if Jam fixes that. I think it's hard to win every game just completely relying on your pass. So we'll see how that goes, but it's good to have him back. It just needs to be a whole lot better.
Mike Rodak joining us right now from Bama 247 and talking about the pass with Ty Simpson. He looked different, man. I mean, he absolutely looked different on the road in Athens compared to what we saw in Tallahassee. What all has changed for him in the last 3 weeks that has got him to that point where I said earlier, my wife looked at me and went, he looks so calm right now. That was not the case in Tallahassee, man. What's changed?
Yeah, I think it starts with not being under duress. I think he was getting pressured more against Florida State. There was issues along the offensive line in that game. Obviously Caden Proctor did not play well that first game. And Ty, I think, was getting pretty angsty in the pocket where he was just kind of popping right outside the pocket as soon as he could. And I think that's kind of how he was wired in high school because he was able to run so well, back in Martin, Tennessee, and he could use his legs and outrun people. Yeah, I think he tried to do that in the Florida State game, and it just didn't work. He had that fourth down run late in that game that he got stopped. He had another fourth down or third down run that he got stopped. He just didn't really know how to handle when do I get outside the pocket? If I'm outside the pocket, do I throw? Do I run? And that feel wasn't really there. I think this staff wants Ty Simpson to throw the ball. So if you minimize the amount that he's running, minimize the amount that he's getting out of the pocket, if you need to do that, great. But if he's just sitting in the pocket, finding receivers and putting the ball where it needs to go, that's the best version of Ty Simpson. That's the best version of this offense. And that's largely what this game was. So I think that, there's some factors that kind of played into it. Again, Georgia not being able to get after him helps him stay calm in the pocket, but him being accurate, him getting the ball out, him doing all those things, it's exactly what Alabama needs. And the biggest thing is he has not turned the ball over yet through 4 games, and Alabama as a team hasn't done that either. So if you're taking care of the ball and also making those plays, then you're in a really good spot.
Definitely some exciting stuff from the offensive side of the ball. And, of course, that's what got Alabama that 24 points. But, of course, the defense had to play a big role in the second half. Give us the important things that you saw from the defense. Was Tim Keenan that big of a addition going into this game? And on top of that, just the cornerback play altogether.
Yeah, Keenan probably played a little bit more than I would have expected. I think 34 snaps. I would have expected somewhere in the 20s, but he was out there and you kind of needed him, especially, James Smith going down in the second half with the targeting call, and you're already missing Jeremiah Beeman. You're digging deep at defensive tackle right now, and you need as much as you can out of Keenan. And, he was out there. Obviously, the run defense was not great. I think early in the fourth quarter, Georgia was averaging 9 yards a carry, and it quieted down a little bit. They made some stops in the fourth quarter there, but overall, the run defense is still questionable, and that would be another area as they go through October here where you're going to have to kind of wonder about things because their front seven's banged up. Quay Russo now with foot surgery, he's going to be out for a while. You're already down Jamarian Latham, who's out for a while. You're down Beeman, and you need this front seven to kind of hold together. And you're going to miss James Smith for the first half of the Spandy game too because of the targeting. So that's my concern, the front seven more. The secondary just, I think, did what they needed to do. It was going to be a lot of plays in front of them with Georgia. They're not going to try to take too many shots deep. And the one shot they took deep, he dropped it. Obviously, Damani Jackson had some sort of breakdown there on the right side. I'd be interested to see what Kane Womack says about that today with that touchdown. But overall, this secondary just hasn't faced very much as far as passing games quite yet. Teams are averaging 17 passes a game against Alabama. That's 3 less than any other team in the country has faced. In fact, that's the fewest pass attempts against any team through 4 games in 8 years. I think 2018 in Clemson is the fewest since then. So teams just aren't throwing against Alabama. And you're going to get that eventually between Tennessee and maybe South Carolina and Oklahoma and LSU. They're all going to throw against you. Right now, you're just not getting a whole lot of that.
Mike Rodak from Bama 247 is our guest. And real quick, do want to talk about those wide receivers. Used to be a wide receiver myself, back in the old days. It feels like nowadays. But Ryan Williams, at one point we were talking about him as an elite wide receiver. Of course, a lot of people still call him an elite wide receiver, but elite wide receivers do not drop that ball as he was running towards the end zone. But the Tide do have very talented wide receivers. Talk about them and what you really liked about some of these guys in this game.
Yeah, they had the big 4 that it's kind of become between Bernard, Horton, Ryan Williams, and now Latsier Brooks as well. And that gives a lot of problems to defenses. And if you put attention on one guy or 2 guys, there's going to be opportunities for the other. And as long as you can continue to find, the open man, and Ty was doing a great job of that, then you're going to be in good shape with that deep of a room and that many options that are getting open. And there were some receivers who were open on Saturday night, just watching from the press box. I mean, man, they were doing a good job there. So that's the strength of this team. That's, I think, what's going to get this team far is what they have a wide receiver. But with that said, look, Ryan Williams might be their 3rd receiver right now. If you look at the snap counts from Saturday night's game, Horton and Bernard are right around 70. Ryan Williams had about 40 snaps. And until you can prove that you're going to be sure-handed, and right now he has 5 drops, it's second most in the country, it's tough to have you out there in a number 1 receiver role, even though we all know what kind of the ceiling, what the potential is for Ryan Williams. It's the consistency that you need to see more out of, and he's not doing that right now. And you go one game with 165 yards and, you score a touchdown and yell into the camera, "I'm back." And then you go and drop a touchdown pass and you drop another would-be touchdown pass against Georgia. Like, you got to keep it going. You got to stay consistent. And he's just one of the most inconsistent players on this team right now.
Mike, I know there's not a curse that goes for the NCAA football games just because of how fresh it is, but who knows? For the last 2 years, there's been multiple players on the cover, and it feels like 1 or 2 of them have had a little bit of iffy seasons after that. It's just something interesting that we've never had to really deal with, and I know it's all just something in the air. It's not actually real, but it's something intriguing to look at when I see it. Ryan Williams, of course, and Jeremiah Smith on the cover of this new NCAA game. Joe?
Well, now I wanted to look forward to Saturday because you mentioned something just a few moments ago about how the run defense right now is still not the best, and you're going to see more teams using the run against Alabama. The number 2 rushing attack in the SEC is coming into Tuscaloosa this weekend in Vanderbilt. I know College Game Day is going to be there. Obviously, we know why this game is getting hyped up as much as it is. But now, what do you think about this Alabama defense going up against a team like Vanderbilt, who has like 3 rushers right now in the top 15 in the SEC?
Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but it's a bigger test for this defense than Georgia, just because of all the different looks that they can give you and all the eye candy and all the misdirection. And it's really Pavia's ability to both run and pass that I think is, Stockton's, I think, good as a runner, or at least adequate. Obviously, Ty Simpson's adequate as a runner too, but Pavia's, I think, better. He's on a different level as a runner. And then he's a really good passer. And people forget, like last year's game, he did a lot of his damage through the air. It wasn't just Pavia's legs. It's all kind of based off, a lot of these option looks, and it all kind of blends in terms of the run and the pass for Vandy. But Pavia can throw the ball, and he can move. He can find receivers on the run, kind of fire it in there. And, he's 3rd in the country right now in QBR. So really good player. I think this could be a high-scoring game where Vanderbilt's able to move the ball on a banged-up Alabama defense. I think Alabama can score on Vandy's defense. Utah State just did on Saturday.
Yep.
And obviously Alabama did it a decent amount last year as well. So it could be a high-scoring game. The biggest thing I'm looking for is, can Alabama keep protecting the ball? Because, like I said, 0 turnovers through 4 games is great. There's probably a little bit of luck involved with that. Obviously, you're taking care of the ball. The running backs are doing a great job of that. Ty's doing a great job of that. You're not going to go the entire season without a turnover. So when does that turnover happen? What sort of impact does it have? Is something that you kind of need to watch. Pavia has thrown a few picks himself this year. So if you can take advantage of the other side turning the ball over, that's great. But high-scoring game is kind of what I would expect. And also the chess match, because I'm sure Kane Womack has spent a lot of time this offseason dissecting what went wrong at Vandy last year. But I'm also sure that Jerry Kill and Tim Beck at Vandy have done a whole lot of what do we need to do next against Alabama to stay a step ahead. And that defensive coordinator, offensive mind match in this game is going to be really interesting.
The spread opened up around 12.5, 13.5. What do you think Vegas is seeing that's putting the Tide so much higher above this Vandy team?
Well, it's come down. I think Caesars opened at 13.5 yesterday, or 13, and it's down to 10.5. So they're seeing money come in on Vandy is what they're seeing as far as bringing it down. But I'm sure in terms of it still being a double-digit spread, it's Alabama playing at home. And Alabama's been markedly different playing at home, especially under Kalen DeBoer, but even before then, than they have on the road. And if you're able to get some momentum and get the home crowd behind you, I think, there's obviously a good chance you can win this game. Double digits is probably pushing it where, I would probably predict maybe a 1-score game. But at the end of the day, it's Alabama versus Vandy. I think just mentally, you look at that matchup, and I think, Vegas is probably thinking double digits.
It's interesting. Last year, I was at Oktoberfest in Coleman. I was just having a wonderful time. Wasn't even having to think about the Tide. Well, I was, but they were in the back of my head because they were playing Vanderbilt. Ended up being 40-35 in favor of Vanderbilt. First time in a long time they were able to get the win over the Tide. This past week, there was a lot of hype in Athens. Now it seems like there's even more hype because it's an avenge game. They got to avenge what happened last year. And Mike, you're going to be following it all the way through, as you always do throughout the football season. Let the people know where they can find all of your work so they can stay in the know for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I would hope for Alabama's sake that they don't come out flat like they did against Vandy last year. I think the game I would worry about is more next week when you have to go to Missouri at 11 a.m. But as far as where to find my stuff, it would be Bama247.com and then on X at Mike Rodak.
Appreciate it, Mike. Always great to hear from you, bro. Enjoy the week. And, of course, we're looking forward to this upcoming week. Just always great football ahead, man.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bro.
Great stuff, as always, Mike Rodak. Go check him out over at X. Mike Rodak is his handle. And, of course, find him at Bama247. It's funny. I'm looking at this. First off, I was focused 100% on this game in Athens. Then I was like, okay, now we got to change it. Now this Vandy game has so many storylines. And then Mike's already looking towards that Mizzou game. And it's just like every game after itself is a bigger test, I feel like, for the Crimson Tide.
And I think that a lot of it does come down to what we were talking about with this is I don't know why. I don't know if it's just Kirby Smart is, his kryptonite right now is Alabama, and they just know there's that special binder that Nick Saban left for every future coach. Like, this is how you handle Kirby. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if DeBoer did say, all right, Nick, so what do I need to do here? Like you tell me the game plan. Like what do I need to? Because in all reality, you knew what Georgia was going to be running. And if it wasn't for a miraculous third or fourth down reception over the middle of the field at times, there were times where you were thinking to yourself that Georgia doesn't have a shot to come into this one because Alabama pretty much had this one under control. Vanderbilt's is a question mark because they do have the options, like what Mike was talking about. Missouri's the exact same thing. Those two teams are going to show you different looks as compared to what Georgia shows you. that I just genuinely think that Alabama is not scared of Georgia because they know Kirby and what he likes to call so well that unless Kirby comes out with a totally different game plan, they're never going to beat Alabama.
No. And then looking past
Vanderbilt's the other is a totally different case.
Yeah, looking past Missouri, of course, going to be Tennessee. This one's going to be in Tuscaloosa. Joey Aguilar, similar abilities to those previous two quarterbacks, Bo Pribula for Mizzou, and as well as for Vanderbilt. But then you look even forward to that. South Carolina got a good win over Kentucky. Not much to really look into about that one. It's Kentucky we're talking about. LSU, and then right now, 5th-ranked Oklahoma is that third to last game, November 15th.
Mateer should be back for that game.
Yes, he should. So things are going to just keep on getting interesting as we get in through this season. If you guys want to hop in on the phone lines and throw in your opinions, you can. 256-576-9777 is the number to get into the Blitz as we react to this weekend of football fun and so much else. This is the Blitz on 97.7. ESPN, The Zone, and ESPN Winchester.
Did you freeze fire, Jeff?
Nope.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Monday Night Football doubleheader today. Jets with Justin Fields back at quarterback. A 2.5-point road dog of the Miami Dolphins. 45.5 the total. Ryan Kramer and Sean Graham, the Sports Gambling podcast on VSiN, like Fields anytime touchdown prop bet at plus 240. VSIN.com/picks. Cincinnati Bengals, a 7.5-point dog of the Denver Broncos in the nightcap at 44.5 the total at Mile High Stadium. The games will kick off about an hour apart. College football Saturday, Alabama laying 13.5 at home at Vanderbilt. South Alabama +3 at Troy. Army 9.5-point favorites at UAB. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy, it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Founded in 2003 by Huntsville natives Scott Johnson and Todd Hayes, Johnson & Hayes brings exceptional care to every patient through an all-star team of highly trained physical therapists. From sports performance to post-op rehab, dizziness, women's health, and more. With 7 locations across North Alabama, expert care is always close to home. Learn more at johnsonandhayes.com. Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy, where extraordinary care meets exceptional outcomes.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes the catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide take on Vanderbilt at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. A quiet night expected across the Tennessee Valley for this Monday. Low temperatures fall into the low 60s for the overnight. Heading into our Tuesday, expect to see another afternoon full of sunshine. High temperatures once again warm into the upper 80s. A little bit of rainfall could be possible, but most areas will be staying dry.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Joe,
sup?
Did you watch any of that LSU Ole Miss game?
Actually, no. No, I did not watch a second of it. What time was the game on?
It's like 2:30.
What else was happening during that time?
I think Auburn was playing.
Yeah.
So you chose Auburn, Texas A&M over this one?
Yeah. It was better than some of the other alternatives of what I could have done to cause pain to myself. So I just chose to watch Auburn, Texas A&M.
Surprised you don't have like that mohawk swished over and you got like eyeliner on this morning. I mean, you're wearing black. So,
I am wearing black. I really, no, the hawk is not at half mast today. No, because again, Auburn is horrible on offense. Their head coach is horrible. Has been for decades.
They're having struggles. They can't pass the ball.
It's hard. It's hard when you have a quarterback that can't pass the football.
Yeah.
That's a major issue. And what was the final score of that game? What was the final score?
It was 16-10.
16-10.
Defense did its job.
How did Auburn score that with that one touchdown?
I don't know. I was too busy watching that other game.
Yeah, it was the fact that the defense did all of the work and got it down to the 1 yard line for Jackson Arnold to not throw it in and just run it in himself. That's
what he does, man.
That's all he does.
But he had 11 yards on the day.
That's great. He almost had only 11 yards passing on the day, too. There was one point in time, I'm not kidding, in the fourth quarter, the man still hadn't reached 100 yards passing.
And he had plenty of chances. He was 18 of 33. He only had 125 yards.
256, 576. This is more for the second hour.
That's why I wasn't trying to get into that, honestly.
Well, is again because no, it was in all reality, I was actually working during both of those games because I had a volleyball match at 2:00. So I had Auburn going as the volleyball match was also happening. So during the breaks, I was watching the Auburn game.
I got you.
And then I turned it up as I was sitting there doing recaps and everything. So that was the main reason why I also didn't watch LSU Ole Miss. And so on my drive home, I was watching the Auburn Oklahoma game, or not Auburn, Oklahoma, Auburn, Texas A&M game. And so I was, again, just a one screen guy on that. I didn't want 2 and 3 screens. And by the time I got home, it was already laughable. So, the things are the way that they are. And then I turned it over to Alabama, Georgia, and that's what my focus was on. I also did watch Tennessee, Mississippi State during that period of time as well.
Okay, I got you. That Tennessee, Mississippi State game was really, really fun.
Way better than the other one.
It was. But I will admit that Ole Miss LSU game, a lot of fun storylines behind it. Of course, Lane Kiffin's daughter hanging out with Whit Weeks and all that was a big thing. And I'm glad that they actually were bringing it up during the broadcast, because you can't just like go into this game and not think about that. I mean, Lane Kiffin, there's got to be some sort of thing going through Lane Kiffin's mind. Same thing goes for Whit Weeks, who was throwing up on the field because of that heat and intensity that he was playing at. But the storyline has to go to Trinidad Chambliss.
Well,
I mean, it's got to be about him.
Well, and it was also very smart. See, this is also what a good coach does. When they know that the quarterback that they currently have is not the answer, they go ahead and change quarterbacks. That's also something that can be done, mainly when after you lose 2 straight games in which, honestly, you had no shot at being in either one of them. You make a quarterback change. That's also what a smart coach does. In certain periods of time.
Austin Simmons he's injured.
But it doesn't matter. Also, at the exact same time, we also found out earlier this week that it was, speaking of that daughter is the reason why Lane Kiffin did not take the job at Auburn. So, that's also really smart on her part for saying no to that, because yes, I truly think that Auburn should go right back at Lane Kiffin if he had already accepted the job, because even he said that he'd basically accepted it. He was ready to go to Auburn. And then it was his daughter that told him, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that. And so smart move by her, because again, it would be absolutely idiotic if you were Lane Kiffin to take this job at Auburn right now, or whenever that job became open for you to take it. So yeah, Lane Kiffin's making a few smart decisions right now where Auburn's doing the direct opposite.
Well, let's see if Garrett has some smart thoughts and all that stuff that he's going to throw on. Everything you say, guys, is going to be smart. There's no dumb analysis. But Garrett joins us now. Hey, Garrett, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. I almost hung up when you said that dumb thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll say something dumb, but I'll try to keep it reasonable.
Yeah. Well, what do you got for us today, Garrett?
Well, first thing is, Ty Simpson's who Ty Simpson's always been. When he came out in the first game against Florida State, he obviously had more jitters than anybody I've seen an Alabama quarterback start with. He also didn't have a starting running back, a starting right guard, no continuity on the line, and we didn't have our nose guard. I mean, we were a broken team when we went in there, and it was our first game, so I just kind of wrote that off. Do y'all remember Ty Simpson running about a 50-yard touchdown and dropping it before he went in the end zone?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Okay. He has speed. He is a mobile quarterback. No two ways about it. He's always had a laser arm. I mean, it's not like we have to be unsure about him. He's a great quarterback.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that one. He throws it exactly where he needs to throw it. I mean, it's almost like I'm more confident about him throwing the ball than I could say a few quarterbacks in the past for Alabama. But I love what I see from him. We haven't seen enough of his legs, though. That's the one thing I'm waiting to see it open up as we get throughout the season. But right now, he can take control of this offense just with his arm alone.
Well, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. He really hasn't needed his legs much, but when he has needed them, they've come through. But also, last year we had our quarterback last year. I can't say his name. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't want to say it either. Jalen Milroe.
Jalen Milroe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He was either laser focused and could hit anybody on the field, or he couldn't hit the water boy standing still with nobody rushing him. I mean, that's, and we seem to think he was the only athlete on the field last year. This year, we're using our running backs, we're using our receivers. We're using people like we're supposed to. And I'll say this again, on defense, you can't run a 3 anything in the SEC because 90% of the teams can and will run the ball. You cannot run a 3-down line front against that. You just can't. It's ridiculous. You can run it out in the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. You can run it there. You can't run it here.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people that agree. I'd like your thoughts on that.
Yeah, and firstly, Garrett, we appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I will say that we have seen this offense open up to the point where it doesn't look like there's just two playmakers on this team. I mean, last year it was Jalen Milroe, Ryan Williams. Those were the studs. Jeremy Bernard was decent, but we didn't really know about him. And, of course, there were some other players thrown in there. But now just seeing this game open up with Ty Simpson, throwing it to his wide receivers like the Jeremy Bernards, like the Isaiah Hords, just getting it to everybody that you can because he's able to. That right there is a quarterback that will show you that this team has so much talent. It's not just two players.
Well, and I think that with Alabama, there's two parts of this that I don't think is getting stressed enough. Is I do think that Ty came out of that game in Tallahassee and he said, okay, I need some help mentally on this because I was very overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And so he goes in the Holly Rowe statement again, because I was like, hold up, this is extremely interesting.
It's like a guru or something.
It was like it's somebody that's helping teach athletes how to remain calm whenever they start to feel like that pressure starting to come on them, and techniques and things like that you could do on the field or do on the sidelines. It kind of helps you kind of get recentered. Mm-hmm. I think that was a big part of it. Also, I don't think that the Jam Miller part of this is being stressed enough about how important he has been and is to this Alabama offense. And the reason why I think Ty did have a little bit more calmness about him is because of the trust that he has in Jam Miller all the way up, because you have yet another pass blocker that's able to have your back to give you that extra second or millisecond of time to find the receiver. I think that him having faith in his running back being able to block as well as faith in his offensive line is part of the reason why Ty played as well as he did. I think Jam Miller is a massive cog in this, that having him back has changed a lot of this team.
256-576-97.7. As we head into the second hour, we will get back into the phone lines. Jason, we're looking at you, but we will be getting into a lot more of the college football talk here on the Blitz.
Did you freeze fire, Joe?
No.
This is the Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted Best Wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Tom Abraham here from my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end-of-summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now, you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Guthrie's, home of the original chicken finger and a proud partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Visit us in-store or online at Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here are post-game thoughts from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer, after Alabama's 24-21 win at Georgia on Saturday.
Great team win for our guys. Credit to Georgia. They're a great team. And just proud of the way our guys came out and fought. You can't overstate like what our guys have just been doing as far as just every day trying to get better, and that's what it's about. They just were focused and knew they're going to have to play 4 quarters, and it took every second of it. And so again, finding a way to win first half, a lot of conversions, especially on third down, got off the field. And then turned into a fist fight in the second half. And defense standing in there, getting a big 4th down stop. That was big.
I'll have more in a moment.
This year, we honor the most important anniversary ever. An event that reshaped civilization as we know it. A day that would lead to something so flawless that nothing could ever really compare. People have tried to match it, but have failed. This year, we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Guthrie's, the home of the original chicken finger. Just talking about it gets me all choked up. And hungry for a chicken finger. Guthrie's, an original obsession for 60 years.
Join us tonight for Crimson Tide Rewind, live from Baumhower's Victory Grill in Vestavia Hills at 6 p.m. Central. You can listen to the show on our full radio network, Varsity Network app, as well as a video replay available on the CTSN YouTube page. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Monday Night Football doubleheader today. Jets with Justin Fields back at quarterback. A 2.5-point road dog of the Miami Dolphins. 45.5 the total. Ryan Kramer and Sean Graham, the Sports Gambling podcast on VSiN, like Fields anytime touchdown prop bet at plus 240, VSIN.com/picks. Cincinnati Bengals, a 7.5-point dog of the Denver Broncos in the nightcap at 44.5 the total at Mile High Stadium. The games will kick off about an hour apart. College football Saturday, Alabama laying 13.5 at home at Vanderbilt. South Alabama plus 3 at Troy. Army 9.5-point favorites at UAB. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen. Expect to see mostly sunshine for this Monday all across the Tennessee Valley. High temperatures warming into the upper 80s for the afternoon. A little bit of rainfall could pass through, but most areas will stay dry for your Monday. Heading into Monday night, low temperatures fall into the low 60s and will sit under a clear sky.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
All right, second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham in the Blitz on with you until 11 a.m. And we're going to send it over to Rich Eisen, then Tom Abraham, then Paul, then The Drive, then Monday Night Football times 2.
Full day of everything that you love about sports, whether we're actually getting into the football or we are the football. It is all here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Make sure you guys download that 97.7 ESPN The Zone app over on Apple and Android devices, as well as check us out over on the website, 977ESPN.com. And, Joe, we do have phone lines coming in. We will hop into those here momentarily, but I would like to remind you that if you're having any roofing problems, Joe, I'm looking at you.
I am. I know you're looking at me. I'm researching right now because I've got a thought in my head.
And you had like a shingle fall off your roof recently. Yeah. There's people called Fleming Roofing and Restoration that can hook you up with a brand new roof or just a small roof repair. It's FlemingHSV.com, the place to find them. Fill out that free quote today, Joe. You will not regret it. And remember that Fleming always shows up, brother. Unlike Sam Pittman, because he got fired. He finally got fired. And Poor I'm not, guy. I don't know. Like, I'm so sad. Like, because I loved Sam Pittman, but like he was not able to change anything with this Arkansas team. I mean, yeah, it kind of adjusted. It got better whenever Bobby Petrino came in. But I mean, it just did not look like they could get over the hump, you know? And I talked so much about a guy like Taylon Green. And yeah, you got a really good quarterback, but he still has the same flaws. He throws the interceptions. He doesn't have the talent around him to make this team just different. But I think the most intriguing thing about all of this is Pittman had a unique buyout, Joe. I don't know if you saw this.
He did have it was a very smart buyout.
It was.
It's called betting on yourself. But it's betting on yourself, man.
Why didn't they wait 2 more weeks, maybe 3 more weeks until they could fire him? And maybe they still think they could turn things around. They might be able to. But if they waited 3 more weeks, instead of him being 500 since, 2021, he'd probably be a little bit under 500 because right now he's sitting at 29-27 since 2021. And with being over 500, he's going to make $9.8 million. If they were under 500, all that money would be off the board. So if they waited just a little bit longer, Arkansas, and I know it probably wouldn't be very nice, it would be Tennessee, Texas A&M, Auburn, which who knows? Auburn might lose to Arkansas anyway. But still,
can't win if you can't score a touchdown.
The way that they lost to Notre Dame
you can.
And Memphis 2 weeks in a row, it just has not looked good. And sadly, I think it is finally time that Arkansas moves on from Sam Pittman.
Well, he's also not the only one getting fired because Bobby Petrino has cleaned house this morning as well, because basically the entire defensive staff has been fired. He has fired 2 or 3 coaches already this morning. All of those have been on the defensive staff. And so it's not just Sam Pittman that is going to be gone as well. Bobby Petrino is just like walking up and being like, walked in the staff meetings like, all right, everybody stand up. If you're a coach at Arkansas defense, you sit down. The rest of you, you're good. You guys, go see HR. We appreciate everything you did. Woo pig.
I feel like Bobby was just waiting in the background. He was just like, I know this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I need my spot back.
It absolutely was happening. So according to Pete Thamel, in the last 2 hours, Arkansas has already fired defensive coordinator T. Will, defensive line coach Deke Adams, as well as co-defensive coordinator Marcus Woodson.
Well, 56 points put on you by Notre Dame, a team going in 1-2. I didn't even get to turn the game on before they had already scored like 3 times. It's so sad.
I did. Look, I got to game kicked off at 11. I got to UAH at like 10:45. I got my stuff set up. So where I was going to do some prep, I turned the iPad on. Right when I turned the iPad on, Notre Dame was already up by like 3 scores. I'm like, all right, well, this sucks.
Very embarrassing loss for the SEC, but you can't give it credit towards the Big Ten or the ACC because, of course, Notre Dame is their own entity. We do hop into the phone lines at 256-576-97.7. Jason is up first. Jason, how you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. Can't complain.
Hey, I got a question.
All right.
Auburn only ran just about 8 times Saturday.
Sorry, your phone's acting like Jackson Arnold, and you can't get anything going. What were you? It's breaking up on us. What did you say?
Time Saturday. Is that correct?
Okay, so your phone just now started acting right, and all I heard is Saturday. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so let's try one more time. Sorry about that, man. I swear. I think he's got one of those new iPhones that are blue and orange.
All right, Jason, call back.
I think he's got one of those new iPhones. I really do.
Do you think there's a problem with those ones? Is there some sort of problem going on?
It's probably their CEO trying to get enough money so they could buy Hugh Freeze out.
It's you and Hugh Freeze right now. You're having a really tough time, aren't you?
Yeah, because I hate the fact that I'm right about him. I hate the fact that this is garbage. I hate the fact that this isn't working. I hate the fact that Jackson Arnold is still a horrible quarterback. I hate it all because I would love for Auburn to be good. But Auburn never makes the right decision because they have too many people that want to make the wrong decisions just because they're stuck in 10 years ago and 15 years ago and 25 years ago.
You are right. This is starting to feel a little bit like an Arkansas situation where the team just cannot get back over that hump. But Arkansas, it's been a little bit longer. So
but see, the thing is with Arkansas, their heart is really in the right place. Like they are that. You know that they can be successful. Look at the basketball program. Look at the baseball program. Look at track and field. Their track and field, the only program in the country that is more dominant than Arkansas is in track and field is Oregon. That's it. Like Arkansas is dominant in that sport. The basketball team has been good. The baseball team has made it to the College World Series. They have dominated the SEC and been one of the top 3 teams for years. Like this, everything there is good outside of football, and that is just because the NIL part of this. But now you got Wally World over here. They could give you, they could donate $20 million and they'll make that back in an hour. Like that, they literally could fund your entire NIL program, put their little star out there on the field, and boom, there you go. But they also are not going to sit there and go, all right, I know you guys need to hire now. Unfortunately, their best option may be the guy that's the interim. That may be the case, unless they go get Prime. Arkansas, if y'all get Prime, I swear I'll be coming in here. Woo, Pig Suey. Woo, Pig. I will be all in on Arkansas if they get Prime.
Oh, Brandon is on with us. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Somebody, and I'm still trying to find it, did Blink 182, Hold On, and they've got Jackson Arnold getting sacked over and over and over again.
Again, I thought, look, I said this on Saturday. I hope everybody in the world finds somebody that will hold them as long at night as Jackson Arnold holds a football. Because I promise you, they'll never let go.
How good of a defense does Auburn have that they are wasting?
Oh, this is what Auburn does. They are wasting the defense. Here's what's also going to happen. Cam Coleman, first off, if I'm Cam Coleman, I go over to the athletic director. Hey, real quick, before we go in this meeting, is Hugh Freeze still the head coach? Oh, he is? Okay, cool. I'm entering the transfer portal. I'm done. I'm not wasting my time here anymore. You guys are garbage. This is garbage. I'm out of here. I'll go in the transfer portal and somebody will offer me $20 million. I'll just go ahead and get out of this. What's going to happen is Cam Coleman's going to go in the NFL. He's going to be a wide receiver one for a team, and people are going to look back and go, wow, look at the wide receiver Auburn had, and they couldn't do anything with it. That's what's about to happen. Defense, same way. You have an opportunity right now to have a top 5 draft pick, and the man is basically doing everything, including getting the football and getting it basically to the 1 yard line for you. Like everybody is doing all they can to try to help this team out, except for the head coach and the quarterback.
I've never said this before, but if they did fire Hugh Freeze midseason and I'm Alabama, I'm already talking to the defensive coordinator.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I would go ahead and be like, hey, dude, when it goes down at the end of the season, just give us a call. I would totally do that. And I've never said that before, but this Auburn defense is good.
It's very good.
Really is very good defense.
Yeah.
And if Alabama had that in second half adjustments from Ryan Grubb, I'd be thinking possible semifinal.
If it wasn't for this Auburn defense, think about how many games they would have already have lost, even though they've already lost 2. They would have lost to Baylor, and they may have even lost either South Alabama or Ball State, one of the two. Like, that is how bad this team is on the offensive side.
I'm just looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself that watching this Auburn game, that here we are again with another really good Auburn defense that just gets no help whatsoever.
No.
And I don't know. I mean, I would have thought that, with Freeze and what he's done, he would have been able to have brought it back. But so what is your outlook now? I know we talked about the 6-game stretch, and they've got into it now. What is your outlook? What do you expect over the next 6 games?
All right, so first let me say I just quickly counted. I counted at least 5 3-and-outs against Texas A&M, and 2 more drives where Auburn only ran like 5 plays. So let me emphasize that's just how bad this team is. Okay, when it comes to this offense. The rest of the season, they're going to lose to Georgia. They're going to lose to Missouri. They'll probably even lose to Arkansas. They'll beat Kentucky. They'll lose to Vandy. They'll lose to Alabama. So they have 2-4 is what I see over the rest of this, which would mean that they finish the year once again 5-7.
Okay, now if they do that and they do not fire Hugh Freeze, what do you think happens there? Max exodus in the transfer portal?
Oh, I'm telling you, if Hugh Freeze is back next season, Cam Coleman's gone. There's no chance on earth if I'm Cam Coleman that I waste another year of my talent here when I could go to an Alabama, a Georgia, a Texas, a Tennessee, somewhere where they're going to throw me the football and I have the ability to even though I'm already probably a first-round draft pick, a top 10 wide receiver. Like that's what we're talking about. A top 10 draft pick as a wide receiver. That's what Cam Coleman could be. He is absolutely wasting every single second of his life in Auburn. And I'm looking right now and I'm thinking, this is why I keep asking this at the end of each segment. Today is the perfect day to fire Hugh Freeze. It's the perfect day. You're going into a bye week. You're not going to see Georgia for another 2 weeks. This is the perfect time. You have 2 weeks to get everything into the way that you want it to be so that you have some sort of a plan going in against Georgia. But Auburn's not smart enough to do that.
Joe, if they go 5-7, there's no way he is coming back next year.
Nor should he.
No way.
He shouldn't be making it to the Georgia game. He shouldn't make it to the Missouri game. He shouldn't even make it to Arkansas. Because I will tell you right now, even Arkansas is going to beat this Auburn team. That offense is atrocious.
Do you feel like he ought to at least change quarterbacks?
Yes. He should have changed a long time ago. Like, what is Jackson Arnold bringing that, I mean, is Deuce Knight just that big of a moron in the playbook that they just can't even, can they not just tell him, hey, this is RPO, just read the defensive end and either keep it or hand it off. That's all you're doing.
It's a tough situation because Jackson Arnold, I feel like he's got the swagger. He's got a little bit of leadership mentality, but he, again, has problems throwing it, letting it, pulling the trigger. But at the same time, do you think that Deuce Knight's ready? A lot of times you don't want to throw that guy in. Now we're 4 or 5 games in. It's about time where you need to be making that change or your career, your coaching time is on the line. Do you pull that trigger?
This is the perfect time for some sort of a change. Either you're firing Hugh Freeze because you know this is not getting better, or you are going with Deuce Knight and you're getting him ready for Georgia.
I don't even think
one of the two.
I don't think it is Jackson Arnold that is the problem, though. That's the thing.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. I genuinely, I do not. I think that he does have he is a little bit shy on the passes.
He's Peter Griffin. I can
this
throw a touchdown,
offense,
or
if this offense
the box may be a touchdown.
If this offense was touched up, adjusted a little bit more in favor of him, then we could see a little bit more success with it. But right now, Hugh Freeze still wants to see those pass plays happen. Those right now are not going to work if you are trying to chuck it down the field every single time to Cam Coleman. Get it short. The short game is all that he could do right now because you'll have a wide receiver open for at least a millisecond, which will give him time to at least throw the ball off.
Problem is he'll think about it too long.
That's one thing. But again, Jalen Milroe had that same problem. And there were still some games where he made it look really good. But then there were really bad games as well. And I think Jackson Arnold still has what it takes to be a starter. I don't think you need to rush a guy like Deuce Knight because that could work against his career in the long term, especially if you try and throw him in against a team like Georgia.
Well, Auburn, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, has got one of the best centers in the country that anybody could want, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That guy can do it. And it makes you wonder, what is the problem with running the ball? So at this point, are we at the point of doing the whole Scooby-Doo thing where we pull the mask off of Jackson Arnold and it's really Peyton Thorne?
No, well, the only thing is
it Hugh Freeze?
Well, no, well, first off, Hugh Freeze is the point in all of this is Hugh Freeze is garbage. But the other side of it is that
we can agree on that one.
Yes, yeah. But he also has a quarterback that right now does not have the ability to make the right decisions in a timely manner. When you hold the football for as long as you do, you are going to get sacked, regardless as to what the routes are. Either he is always looking for the big play, or he doesn't know what he's seeing whenever teams drop back into coverage. One of the two. But the problem with it is he's such a bad passer that teams now don't even have to worry that much about the pass, and they can focus on stopping the run, which, again, Auburn wasn't able to do either against Texas A&M. Look, Texas A&M went into this game as the worst scoring defense in the SEC. Auburn only scored 10 points, and the one touchdown was because of the defense.
Agreed.
I mean, Arnold didn't even have 100 yards passing until like halfway through the fourth quarter. He wasn't running the ball well. Nobody was. Cam Coleman had like maybe 4 catches the entire game. Like it's laughable at how bad this is. And this is what Hugh Freeze is doing because he's so stubborn that he doesn't want to make a change when I'm telling you, this is like Malzahn sticking with Jarrett Stidham when he shouldn't have stuck with him. You've got to do something different. It's just like Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has got to do something different when he plays Alabama because they've got his number. Everybody in the SEC knows Jackson Arnold is not going to beat you with his arm. He's not.
Well, should Jackson Arnold run in and dive over the pile from behind head first like he's trying to take down the South Tower of the World Trade Center after the play's over?
He would miss. He would dive and he would literally just go the totally wrong way.
I love it, Joe. You said he would miss.
He'd miss. He would. I mean, that's how inaccurate he is.
From Joe. Joe's already dropped the comment of the week on Monday. He doesn't put the gauntlet down.
Thank you.
But the whole thing about the review there, and I want to say this, the booth called down and said that Smith, they said that he targeted. Well, how in the hell do you see a dude come in like a Scud missile in a pile of 40 people, and he jumps so high that he's coming down head to head on 3 people, and nobody in the booth wants to initiate that? How can the SEC and Herb Vincent and all those people over there that are in charge of all that, how can they even begin to not come out and say, this was a blunder and it needs to be resolved? Because you can't not call that targeting even when it's that late. I feel like that the whole problem with targeting is it's supposed to be forcible contact to the head and neck area, which with James Smith didn't happen. He hit him in the shoulder, and it was in the tackle box too. So I look at that and I say, okay, well, if that is targeting, what this guy did had to be, but it's not the players that's the problem. It's not the coaches that's the problem. It's the officials doing it. Because if you're going to call down from the booth and get James Smith, did you miss the human lawn dart that, took off on runway 3? Because if you can't call that targeting, then everybody in that booth needs to be fired.
Yeah. And there was that play where that Georgia player just leaped over during the Alabama game. And that right there should have also been targeting as well. He went in crown first, hit Jeremy Bernard right in the side of the helmet. That should have also been targeting. I mean, it's something that needs to be held to both standards. Even if the guy doesn't have the football, if a dude lunges over, flies over the field, and he's got his head just straight down, going with the crown of the helmet, you got to be able to catch that. Instead, they just threw out the personal foul because it was late contact. He didn't need to jump over there. But that kid should have not finished the game.
And before I go, Joe, I want to ask you this because this is a real question.
Okay.
Did they pay Jackson Arnold so much NIL money that the people behind the scenes will not let Hugh Freeze make a change?
Well, if they have their hands so far up as behind that probably that's the case, and they're probably making that decision, and I could totally see that. I would like to think that that is not the case, but when you are Hugh Freeze and you are who the people are that control the Auburn NIL, I honestly could sit here and say I wouldn't doubt that because Auburn is that dumb.
Because I would make a quarterback change before I'd let it cost me my job. And I see him and I'm thinking, okay, well, at what point do you do this?
Look,
and if you go very much farther, it's going to be too late.
If I know he doesn't, but if Hugh Freeze had integrity, if he genuinely did.
Integrity.
Yeah. If he didn't, right now I need integrity. If he had some integrity, he would go, you know what? If I'm going to get fired, I'm at least going to make some decisions so that whenever I go into my next job interview, I can answer and even say, guys, look, at the time I won't say strapped for money because you shouldn't be if you're him. But he's like, you know what? This time I was really needing some money. I'd promised Auburn that I was going to listen to some people that I probably shouldn't have listened to. And then I finally got fed up with it. And honestly, I wanted to change Jackson Arnold and put in a different quarterback probably about 2 or 3 games before I actually did. And that's what if I was Hugh Freeze and I know I'm getting fired, that's what I would do. But also I have a conscience and I know that right now he has none of that. So I can say that probably Jackson Arnold will probably remain the quarterback because, again, the puppet master won't let him change.
Well, Yellowwood and Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. It's irritating.
It is irritating.
Because there are certain passes I see Jackson Arnold make that look wonderful. But that's if he actually passes the ball. Because, again, you go back to some of those plays where he just stands in the pocket and he does not move at all. The same thing happened against Oklahoma. He just stands there like he is an obelisk on Mars.
I think I would like for it to be what Brandon said. Like, I would like for there to be a legitimate reason as to why.
I wouldn't like it.
At Monday, let's see what time is this. This was 10:25. At Monday at 10:25, why Hugh Freeze is still the head coach at Auburn. And unless he comes into his next press conference with them having the bye week, I'm not sure if they're having one today, him stepping in and being like, okay, we're going to make a change at quarterback this week. It gives us 2 weeks to work with Deuce to prepare him. Let's go ahead and do it because we know that we should have it. But here's what Hugh Freeze is thinking. Well, I mean, I got myself a running quarterback and
that's what you look for.
That's what I need. 3 things I need is a running quarterback. It's dumb and will do everything that I tell them to do because they need me. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. No, this not the case. But again, you're Auburn and you're too dumb to make a real decision that somebody wearing a cowboy hat is the one controlling all of this. And at some point in time, somebody's finally going to look and be like, okay, would you just shut up? Like I would love to be in the boosters meetings. Like, can I be in one of those? Can I come down to one of their NIL meetings and just be like, all right, would anybody like to speak? You shut your mouth. You've done enough damage. Like, I want that. Like, it was part of this was Jay Jacobs in the past. Part of it was Pat Dye in the past. But also now when you've got the other guy, like, I just want seriously to stand up in front of all of them being like, okay, you people can talk with ideas. You shut your mouth. You've done enough damage. You either donate and don't say a word or just leave and we'll find somebody better.
Tale of two sides, Joe. From the first hour and all the excitement about Alabama to the second hour.
They should be.
To all of the worry and conversation.
Do you know that Ty Simpson has grown more in a month than Jackson Arnold has in 2 years?
Yes.
In 1 month, Ty Simpson has grown more than Jackson Arnold will ever think about growing.
There was just something that happened with Jackson Arnold, all right? And it's the SEC. That is what happened to him. Now that he actually has to go up against SEC opponents, he is shook. He is a deer in the headlights. And that's something that needs to get fixed. And if it doesn't, then I don't think we see Coach Hugh Freeze coaching this team anymore unless he's playing on his meta quest.
Look, I'm telling you, the moment that he gets fired, I'm taking us all out to lunch.
But you're not just going to do that. You're going to have a little birthday hat, like those little cones.
I'm going to have the biggest grin on my face that I've ever had in my life.
I'm going to look like the Grinch after he stole Christmas.
Oh, I will absolutely. I will look like the concierge in Home Alone 2 whenever he finds out that Macaulay Culkin's credit card is stolen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a big, huge smile on my face. I'm just going to be like, thank you, God. And then they're going to go out and bring Bobby Petrino back to Auburn or something. And then I'll just be even madder. It's probably what would happen. God, we can't let Bobby go back to Arkansas and let him be the head coach there. He's already the interim. We got to make sure. We need our other option that we've wanted for 20 years.
Lots of conversation left to go on today's edition of the Blitz. 256-576-97.7. We'll try for Jason again on the other side. We'll see you guys in the second segment. Wow, the second segment?
Yeah. You got me talking about all that. Is he fired yet?
No.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Does it really matter which dealership you plan to buy from? Short answer is yes. Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. Taking a little time to find out about the dealership before you buy can have a big payoff. Customer reviews let you know what others think, and that's good. But industry reviews can tell you even more. Woody Anderson Ford is proud to have been selected as Ford's Triple Crown winner, an award that only 1% of the top Ford dealers in the country are able to earn. This is a big deal, and here's why. Ford's Triple Crown is based on superior customer service, sales excellence, and over-the-top service delivery. And again, only 1% of the top Ford dealers in all of America achieve this goal. Woody Anderson Ford is top of the top. So when it's time to pull the trigger on your next car, truck, or SUV, we'd be honored if you'd give us a chance to show you how we earned our Triple Crown status. Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Listen to the Woody Anderson Ford Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. Each Friday night with Scott Tyson on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Monday. Dale hops in on the chat at WZZN TV. Says, hey, Joe, I'd love to hear your take from our Auburn Tigers game. I can't go in because he says I can't call in because I'd get kicked off for all the cussing that I would want to do.
Jeez.
He goes, I don't know who is a worse coach, Hugh Freeze or Brian Kelly.
No, Hugh Freeze. Brian Kelly's close, but he's not terrible. He hasn't gone off the cliff yet. Hugh Freeze is practically hanging off of that little branch, guys. That's always right off the cliff.
You want to talk about my mental health right now? Like, let's be honest about this, okay? Let's pull the curtain back. As much and as diehard of a fan as I am of some certain teams right now, between Hugh Freeze and Brian Callahan right now, how am I not on suicide watch?
Not Brian Callahan. Oh wait! Oh yeah, no, Brian Callahan. Yeah,
yes,
you're talking about Brian.
Between those two,
I keep Titans guys.
I keep refreshing my timeline right now, trying to see which one's going to get fired first.
It's all right. My Browns got curb stomped by the Lions.
Yeah, but
then they literally ate the flesh off of the Browns.
But I'm looking
terrible.
and I have two coaches right now that deserve to be fired and should have already been fired.
Yeah, Joe.
In the last 24 hours.
I see why we have our little counseling sessions in the back room.
I mean, I genuinely right now don't understand why I am not more over the top and just absolutely paranoid and just so incredibly angry. about what's going on because 2 of my 3 football teams are atrocious.
I think it's because you got a family, a loving family, and a wonderful job, 2 jobs actually. My man has 2 jobs.
I have 2 jobs, and my little girl last night. We go and we get down. This is gonna make me happy, okay? So we go and I get her down because I always get her to sleep now. And first thing she does is she goes, "I want wrestling." I said, "Okay." I said,
"Golly."
I said, "But there's a football game on." She goes, "Oh, football. Let's watch football." And I'm like, This is the moment I love.
See,
This is what I need
I'm
right
glad
here.
we could have a little bit of this counseling session right here.
This is what I need, man. This right now, okay, right now, I need that happiness. Because if it wasn't for that, I'm telling you, between Auburn and the Titans right now, my life's not really good.
Look, and I love
Braves
football.
just season ended yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's devastating.
I mean, seriously, right now, I genuinely don't understand how I'm not like just sitting over here. Just
sports are a big role, but you got to remember the bigger picture. You got to remember the bigger picture, Joe. Remember that's rule number 5 in the lessons that we teach. But for LSU, I still believe in Garrett Nussmeier. Of course, he had a bad interception in that one. It's just this LSU team has no run game right now. They've got injuries on their offensive line. Their defense is 10 times better than what it has been these last few years. I think that LSU is a great team, but here's the thing. I think Ole Miss is also a great team, and they also have 2 quarterbacks that could be in the NFL in the matter of just a few years. But either way, we will head to the phone lines before we get into any of the other crazy conversations.
trust me, there's a new one that just came out.
Jason is on with us yet again. Jason, we usually don't allow this, but since your phone was going all wacky, you can get in again. What's up, dog?
Hey, not much. All right. I heard 2 stats, and I don't believe them.
Okay.
Auburn is 3 for 28 on 3rd down in the last 2 ball games. And in Saturday's ball game, the running back only carried the ball 8 times.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. Jeremiah is actually only 6 times.
Carries,
Jeremiah Cobb
yards,
only had 6 carries for 28 yards. And if you were talking about just in that one game, Auburn was 0 for 13 on 3rd down against Texas A&M.
And in the Oklahoma game, that would be 3 for 15.
That would be, I'm going to double check before I give you the exact number on that, but 3 for 15, yes.
All right. So that's a quarterback problem. And when you're only running the ball 8 times during the game, you're not making it hard on the defensive coordinator for the other team.
No, you're absolutely not. And that's where, look, in this, if Texas A&M and that god-awful defense that they have is able to figure this out, what do you think other good defensive coordinators are going to be able to figure out? Because
Georgia's going to be licking their wounds. And Glenn Schumann, Auburn's got to change something, or Glenn Schumann will own them.
Absolutely.
It'll be worse.
Auburn ran a total of 24 quote-unquote rushing plays on Saturday. 15 of those was from Jackson Arnold for 11 yards.
I think you complained a little bit too much about Peyton Thorne last year. This game is completely different.
No, look,
43 to 41. Auburn wins this one. Peyton Thorne, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 19 of 31.
Well, Jackson Arnold isn't throwing interceptions because he's not throwing it close to anybody.
He's not throwing it, Joe. He's not throwing it half the time.
He threw it 33 times.
When he's not getting sacked, that's when he's throwing.
33 passes, and he still only had 125 yards passing, and like 30 of those yards came in the last half of the 4th quarter.
I'm telling you, it's just not a good combination between quarterback and coach. And on top of that, since that coach, Hugh Freeze, is calling the offensive plays, it's not working out well. There needs to be a change because throwing it deep every single time you're trying to throw the ball, not going to work. Also, dumping it off to a tight end, not going to get you yards. You got to find an in-between, and that's the biggest problem that I've seen Auburn have so far. No
you got to establish a running game.
Yeah, that
Nobody's good. I mean, why bring your safety up when they're not going to run the ball?
No, all you've got to do is, as long as your front 4 right now is able to stop the run, and your front 6 is able to stop the run, you have the ability now to drop back 5 guys, and you're like, all right, that's fine. I'll put 2 over on Cam Coleman, so he's neutralized. I'll do 1-on-1 on Eric Singleton. There's your offense. Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
So, I mean, he's got Deuce Knight sitting on the bench over there and got the transfer from Stanford. I guarantee you, both of them can throw the ball better than Mr. Arnold.
Look, he's already done enough things that have been considered quote-unquote fireable offenses. If there is not an offensive change and Jackson Arnold is your quarterback against Georgia, the moment he takes the first snap, John Cohen should walk over and be like, Hugh, you can just go ahead and walk off the field now. But that there's no chance that he should be stepping on the field against Georgia. He shouldn't have stepped on the field against Texas A&M. Like it is.
When do they play Arkansas?
3 weeks, because they have a bye week, and then they play Georgia, and then I want to say after Georgia's the Arkansas game. I could be wrong. I'm double checking that. After Georgia is going to be Missouri, which that's an L, and then it'll be Arkansas. Arkansas will be on October 25th.
That will be when, if you don't straighten it up and he loses Arkansas, that's when he gets fired.
No, it's just now when are we going to see maybe an Ashton Daniels come in? I don't think we're going to see Deuce Knight before we see Ashton Daniels. The only problem I have with Ashton Daniels is that takes away the quarterback run altogether to where he's going to need to throw the ball. But again, you're thinking about the most success that this Auburn team has had. It's come in the form of Jackson Arnold running the ball. So it's just a weird combination right now of quarterbacks and which one's going to work with this offense. And I don't know. Hugh Freeze, he was the one that brought it all together. So if you want to give him compliments on his recruiting class in NIL and bringing people in,
I'm genuinely just curious about who actually thought this was going to work. I am genuinely curious about who thought this was going to work.
I thought it was working.
I know, but you're young and dumb at times.
A little bit, but Jackson Arnold, he finally had his wide receivers. Finally had them. I think that last year with Oklahoma, all of his wide receivers not existing kind of put him in this mindset that he could just run the ball nonstop and he can find success on the ground.
John,
he's less of a quarterback now than ever.
You are Mr. Optimistic, and I love that about you. You are always Mr. Optimistic, and that's why I say young and dumb because you will always look for that glass half full in a lot of situations.
Reality is pretty cruel.
I get that.
It is pretty cruel.
But I mean, for Auburn fans, I am genuinely curious about when this hire was made. Who thought, this is it? We're back now. We're back.
Yeah, I never thought they were back, but I did think that they were going to be capable. I was wrong regardless.
Oh.
Last thing for us, Jason, what you got?
How far am I back in the underdog thing now?
Oh, yeah. I have to update that. I will update that as I have to look through it. You are still second place. I need to see if you – who did you get this week? You had Albertville.
I had Albertville.
Yeah, you had Albertville.
Did Albertville win? I don't know what happened in that game.
No, I know. Look, here's the no.
They were playing Grissom?
They were playing Grissom.
They did win.
And so it is – let me get you your scores over here. Hold on. I got to pull it up.
I just need
fast.
the Grissom-Albertville game. Maybe Drew will tell us exactly what it is. But if you get that, you'll still be in second place. You say 2018?
Yep, it was a score 20-18.
Albertville won 20-18, yes.
Well, there you go. 6+
Columbia?
points.
Oh, Columbia. You played with my heart, Columbia.
Oh, that was sad right there because Columbia had 4 touchdowns called back because of holding calls. And there was a fumble at the end of the game that they should have got, and they didn't get it.
28-24. It was the closest game that they have had since 2016. It was the closest.
Go with them this week. They're playing Decatur.
All right. I'm picking them again. What is the spread? I don't care what it is. Now it's whatever the spread is in 96. That's exactly what I'm taking. Here we go. Predictions.
Right. You should get whatever the spread is and 15 bonus.
They are a 13-point dog to Decatur this week.
All right. You should get 15 bonus points if it comes in.
Okay.
Jason, you are now 96. Just barely behind Josh in the WAC Underdog leader. He is 27.5. You were 25.5. He picked Mississippi State to win over Tennessee. That did not hit. So you are getting close, and Smokey Mike sits behind you guys yet again. But I appreciate you calling, brother. Always great to hear from you.
No problem.
Columbia is a 13-point dog. So I'm going and taking Columbia again. I'm taking them for this week and next week. Then I'm done for the rest of the year.
You're probably going to be past done for the rest of the year, so you should just keep going with Columbia and hope that you get like that 97 points.
It's 96 right now, plus the 13. That means if Columbia wins this weekend, I would get 109 points.
They're gonna break through. They're gonna do it. They're gonna pull it out.
I was so excited. I thought that was gonna be it. I seriously did. I looked everywhere to try to find how to watch the Columbia game while we were doing Sparkman's game on Friday. I just wanted to have it up just so that we could give updates, and I could not find it anywhere. No NFHS, couldn't find it on Huddle, nowhere. I couldn't find it anywhere to watch it. Come on.
We'll be hopping back into the phone lines when we get back. Final segment coming up next here on the Blitz, 256-576-97-7. Harry, we'll start with you and get through this Monday edition of it here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes the catch, makes him bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide take on Vanderbilt at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943. Member FDIC.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Your home for Madison Academy football is on the Mustang Zone.
Looks right, tosses it, wide open, touchdown Mustangs. There on the reception, Zion Williams on the wheel route, and that's 6 on the board there for Madison Academy.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Final segment, best segment, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, as we're going to wrap this up on a Monday. Tom is coming up at noon. You have the drive coming up at 5, and then after the drive, Monday Night Football. Well, you have Alabama recap show, then you're going to have Monday Night Football joined in progress. Yes. You're also going to have the other Monday Night Football game that is going to be starting at 7:15. That is going to be over on our sister station, Talk Radio. So the game that we're going to have on 97.7 is going to be Jets and Dolphins, and then Talk Radio is going to have Bengals and Broncos. So
and I'm intrigued with both of these matchups, not just because the fantasy implications, but that Broncos-Bengals game, see if the Bengals are going to be able to kind of turn things around. Still, Joe Burrow is out. And then the Jets going to be bringing in Justin Fields yet again. Yes, he is healthy. And then Miami trying to adjust that ship so it could go straight. But we hop into the phone lines. We got Harry on with us here on a very much Reaction Monday. Harry, how you doing, bro?
Hey, guys, great show today. I just got a couple of comments there. I was optimistic when Auburn approached Baylor's away game with a balanced attack, running and passing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any of that since then. I'm a season ticket holder and an Auburn fan. But they've got to do something because 16 sacks and a poor, anemic running game has cost them in both games. In the last game, when you didn't have enough confidence when the game was still in play to pick up a 1 yard for a first down late in the game, you pass it and turn the ball over in downs and forfeit your chance. That burned the bridge with me. Where do you go? We've struggled with an offensive line now for 5 years.
Yep.
1 with Miles on, 2 with Harsin, 3 with Freeze. Is there a deep website you can go and find used linemen and know how to block? And also, I think when you're late in the game and you stay in the spread and they know you're going to pass and you can put pressure on the quarterback with 4 down linemen on the defense, Georgia's going to eat you alive. You better start going into game management after the kickoff, double tight end and your quarterback under the center and burn clock, or Georgia's going to hang 70 points on you.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy that the way they're calling the game on the offensive side. On the defensive side, the defense have played well enough. Had the offense been proud of them, they could have won both those games at Oklahoma and Texas A&M. But play calling is horrible right now, and they got 2 weeks to fix it. But they got to get on the ball and get it done. Appreciate your time today, gentlemen. Take care.
Good stuff, look, and he's saying everything that is spot on with this. Auburn right now has been sacked 21 times so far through the 4 or 5 games that they've already played. That is the most in the nation. They are number 136 right now in sacks allowed in the entire country, behind Utah State, behind Utah State, Missouri State, and MTSU.
Oh, MTSU is bad too. If they're in a thing with MTSU, that's not good. But again, this is a team. The last 2 weeks, Joe, if they can get things figured out on offense, we're talking about a team that not just beats a number 5 Oklahoma, but a number 6 Texas A&M. Top 10 teams, you lose by 1 touchdown, 1 score games. I think there is a silver lining to this conversation, though.
Well, yeah, the silver lining is kicking somebody out. I think that's going to be the silver lining. The other problem with this is that it's not about who can Auburn go get, who should Auburn go get. It's that who is Auburn going to allow to come in and actually be their own person, because that's not what Hugh Freeze is. Hugh Freeze was brought in for a specific reason. He was very controllable. And that's exactly what I think is happening right now. And I think Brandon brought up a good point is because Hugh Freeze is controllable, is somebody making him keep Jackson Arnold as the quarterback.
And the final call of the day will go to Johnny on the cell. Johnny, how you doing today, brother? Hope you're doing better than all those Auburn fans.
Hey, guys, yeah. So the thing that's got to happen this coming Saturday is Diego Paglia needs to feel like he's been in a car wreck when the game is over.
That's true.
They need to hit him every time he's got the ball. I'm not kidding. The key to stopping a running quarterback is to hit him where he's got the ball or not and punish him for having it in his hand. And I don't care if that's the one thing Alabama has not proven the board is that they can stop a running quarterback who's got a handle. So for me, you stop the running game from the inside out. You stop the handoff in the middle, and you play it to the outside, and you punish the quarterback every time. And until they do it, I'm concerned more about Vandy than I am. Look, I felt like we would open up a can on Georgia just because we're playing with a chip, and, it's a lot of naysayers that says you're not going in there to win. We still have to keep the chip, and we have to pound Pavia every time. If we do that and we beat Vandy, I feel like Bama can win the rest of the schedule because I think that's the kind of team we have. I love Ty Simpson. I wouldn't trade him for any quarterback in America right now.
Yeah. Johnny on the cell, appreciate you, brother. I totally agree. I want to see him get hit as hard as Matthew Golden got hit when he was spinning into that kickoff return or punt that he had, and he got lit up.
Couple things. One, Vanderbilt's only allowed 3 sacks so far this season. 2, Malik Neighbors is officially done for the year. It is a torn ACL.
Yeah.
And 3, this could have a massive ripple down effect throughout college football. If true, Paul Feinbaum did an interview with Clay Travis over the weekend and said that he is considering running for the state Senate in Alabama.
How do you drop a bombshell like that? It's over.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers